there, horse lovers. I'm Mae DeMasi with the EQUUS Film and Arts Fest, and today I have the pleasure of talking to Diana Hasen about her children's book, Stevie and Harley's Purpose. Welcome, Diana.
Thank you. So nice to meet you.
I have to say, Diana, I so enjoyed reading the book about Otto G. Rowe and his flying machine and his gypsy vanner horse companions, Stevie and Harley. Could you tell us a bit about the story and share your motivation? Why?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for the interview. I appreciate it. And it's nice to meet you. So there's a couple of reasons why I wrote the book. First of all, in a few minutes, we'll get the horses over here and you'll see how beautiful they are. So I'm a very, very lucky horse owner, and not everyone gets to do that. And on top of that, I've got very beautiful gypsy vanners that are not your everyday horse, at least not where I live. I live just outside of Philadelphia. There's not too many around here. But maybe in the UK, you would see them all over the place. And by the way, Stevie and Harley are from the UK. And that is in the book. So there's things in the book that are definitely based on truth. Of course, there's some fantasy too, but there's a lot of true things. But anyway, my inspiration was because I just love my horses so much, and I wanted to share them with other people. But the other thing behind the story is my uncle. My uncle Steve was a pilot. He's no longer with us, but he did get to see me get the two gypsy vanner horses, and he was really the inspiration behind that. I had no idea that this breed even existed. I have always been a horse fanatic since I was born. And as a little girl, I was never able to get a pony. And of course, they hung that over my parents' heads for a very long time. But anyway, so I get to live it out as an adult. But anyway, so my Uncle Steve, he was the one that was talking to me at a family gathering. He knew that I was a horse fanatic, and he is too. But he never got to live out his horse dreams either. But he was a draft horse lover, just like I was. So he asked me one day, have you ever heard of a gypsy vanner? I'm like, no, what's that? And he said, oh, they're beautiful, but they're not huge. They're not the real big guys. They're more pony size, but they're still like 1,400 pounds. But they're not the big, tall, giant guys. Anyway, so I think it was the next day after I saw him, the doorbell rang, and I went to the door, and there was nobody there, but I looked down, and in between the doors was a stack of papers like this. They were all copies from the internet of what a gypsy vanner looked like. And so that was it. Like, I saw how beautiful they were and thought to myself, I don't know how, but I got to get one. So that was really what triggered my heart, so to speak. And a few years later, I did end up getting these guys, but that was a dream come true. So my uncle, again, he was a pilot, got to, I guess, live a little bit vicariously through me. And I told him one day, I said, if I ever get one, I'm going to name it after you. And so I got Stevie first. And so I named him after my uncle, and he just thought that was hilarious. So he got to see, some of my journey. I got both horses as babies. They were yearlings. They're 2 years apart. So I got Stevie first, and then Harley 2 years later. And I just got really lucky that they get along and they love each other. And it's a blessing, but it's kind of also not a blessing, because then when they get separated, they completely have a meltdown.
Yeah.
So you see them, like, we work them together, and they drive a carriage together as a pair and do very well together. So I got really lucky. So to answer your question, two things. I just love my horses. That's why I wanted to share them. I like to share my horses because they're just not your everyday animal. And I kind of wanted to give a little tip of the hat to my uncle. You know, I'm so grateful to him, because if it weren't for him, I would never have known, and I wouldn't have gotten these guys. So, so that's really what drove me. But the flying machine is actually an autogyro, and I don't know if a lot of people know what that is, but all those pilots out there, I'm sure they would know. But it's actually a machine. It was the stage before the helicopter. And my uncle flew an autogyro. And so the name of the farmer is Otto G. Rowe. And a lot of people miss that. But a lot of people don't know what that is either. But that's why I have that in the story. So he wasn't actually a farmer, but, you know, I made him kind of the focus there. So, so I hope that answers your question. It was kind of a long answer.
It does. I mean, do you have a writing background? Because the story is so creative.
Well, thank you. I don't. I don't
That's
have
amazing.
I don't have any background at all. I just wanted to write a story about my horses because I love them, but I wanted it to be. I did a little thinking ahead of time. I did want it to be something that was appealing to boys and girls. And I was trying to envision like what would make for good pictures, because let's face it, that's what everyone wants to look at, right? So I literally wrote the story in one sitting, because I can't explain it. It just came.
It was just meant to be.
It was. And so I have another book that's a #2 coming out about Stevie and Harley. It's just been finished with the illustrations. It is now at the people who do the layout, and the editing is all done. So we're close. So hopefully in a month or two, it'll be out.
Wow. Oh my God, that's so exciting. So I did want to touch on the thing that I loved was how you wrote in the woodland animals and the fairies and the gnomes into the storyline, you know, and discuss like their impressions of the hairy horses who stumbled into their field and disturbed their otherwise peaceful realm. And your story is just so, I just loved it. It was just so creative and fanciful and delightful, and how you even like worked the story with the horses and those, you know, and those creatures is just, I've never read anything like that before with the horses. So
thank you. So cool. Thank you. Well, you know, Jency Latta, who did the illustrations, we grew up in the same small town together. So I had a history with her, and I'd seen her work. I loved it. I've always loved her stuff. And so I asked her before I wrote the story, would you illustrate it for me? So I had her kind of set up so that,
that's amazing.
And so the woodland thing, one of her things, I mean, she does a lot of beautiful artwork, but I would say her specialty is the fairies. She kind of has like a fairy. So that helped to bring the fairy realm, you know.
Yeah. That's really amazing that you already knew her and everything.
Yeah. I mean, all
these things just lined up.
Exactly. I know. I feel really lucky, but it's too bad because of the pandemic. I wasn't able to go out and do a lot of, you know, interviews or signings, but you know what? The reception has been so great. So, and thank you for your kind words. It's very nice.
No, that's okay. Where can our audience find your book?
You can get it on Amazon under Stevie and Harley's Purpose, or under my name, Diana D. Charms Hasen. That's pretty much, or you can send me a message. You could go through Instagram, which is Stevie and Harley, or Facebook at Stevie and Harley. I'll get your message and I can sign a copy for you if you want.
Nice.
So that's where it is for now, but hopefully we'll spread out into other stores, bookstores.
Yeah, of course. And I have my signed copy. So I have to tell the audience, it was very funny because I asked, I asked Diana for a signed copy and I said, oh, have the horses sign it. And I was just kidding. And she sent me a book that has their hoof prints in it. And I was like, and I got back to Diana and I said, oh no, I was just kidding.
See, I didn't break my promises.
I can stop. Oh my God. Are the two there with you?
I'm sorry.
Are the horses there with
They
you?
are. Ladies, if you could bring the horses over, that would be great. We're just walking them around because they're not real excited about standing still for, you know, half an hour or whatever. They're usually pretty good, but I didn't want to take any chances. So
Yeah.
I sort of sent them off.
Yeah.
Here they come.
Oh, terrific.
Here come, this is Harley coming up on my right, and this is Stevie on the left. And my wonderful helpers here. Okay, well, maybe he'll be on. This is Harley.
Oh, hi, Harley.
He's the one. I don't know
On
if you
camera,
can,
Harley.
I don't know if you can really see how long his mane is.
Wow.
But he's got the hair that we all want. What can I
Yes.
say?
Yes.
So this is Harley, and here comes. Let me just try to get Stevie in here. Excuse me for just a second.
Yeah, it's okay.
Over for your brother and a boy, and this is Stevie.
Oh.
Yeah, they're good boys. They're very gentle, and we are very blessed. We have a wonderful manager, a woman who runs the barn here, and she lets us bring kids in here and you know, do a little education type of stuff. And sometimes they get a little pony ride and a big horse. But they're very gentle and very cooperative.
Uh-huh.
And Harley's falling asleep.
Oh.
He's falling asleep.
Do people there, whoops, that's okay. It's all right. We like close-ups. Do the people at the barn there who are like horse people, do they realize what their breed is?
Yes.
So they know.
They get a lot of attention. Yeah. People, their stalls are pretty close to the front door, so everyone has to walk past. And
I see.
the days that I'm grooming them in their stalls, there's a lot of attention.
Yeah.
It's always fun. Or if we take them out to do a parade or something like that, it's just so fun to share the horses because people are always so, you know, they're so in love with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel I'm pretty lucky. I feel like a pretty lucky girl. So I want to share.
Yeah. Well, you know, part of your story is it just seemed like things just all fell into place. You know, I mean, if they really came over from England and everything, I mean, that's quite, you know, that's quite something.
It is. I know it is. I found out, I got them through a broker in Colorado who has infiltrated, if you will, the gypsy community, because apparently it's not, you know, you can't just get into any old gypsy horse breeder. But anyway, I called him and I said, do you know where they're from? I was just curious. And he told me that he's not sure if they were born there, but when he got them from the breeder, that they were in a place called Thirsk, which is where all creatures great and small, sorry.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, I know. All creatures great and small.
So it's Yorkshire, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. North Yorkshire, I think. Anyway, sorry people if I got if I got that wrong. So he's knocking the camera over. Like I said, he's really friendly.
Yes.
Here's Harley.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
And it was really awesome that we could meet the horses too.
Oh, I'm so glad. This worked out
Yeah.
well. Well, thank you for your patience.
You're welcome. And we're looking forward to the second book. Does it have a title? Did you say the title of the new book?
I did not say the title.
Okay.
The title is Stevie and Harley's Friendship Bridge.
Excellent. Well,
So look for that.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.